Thank you, I'd appreciate that.
So we'll do the same thing live right after the anthem. Is that good?
Let's go, ladies. Go final.
All right.
I'll try to do a little better.
You're learning. That's all that matters.
Three more games today.
Uh-huh. You got plenty of time to learn. You're going to be all right. You're going to be all right.
All right. afternoon, everybody. This is Alton Britt reporting to you from Wilson, North Carolina. Wilson is a community of about 50,000 people, roughly 45 miles east of Raleigh, and maybe 100 miles west of the Atlantic Ocean. Today's second contest here at Gillette Field in the 2016 U.S. Youth Soccer National League Girls Showcase Tournament matches the team in white from the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede out of New Jersey against the Century Gold team from Western Pennsylvania. Century Gold will be wearing stripes across the front in black with orange gold, and right away the match has started with the Stampede lurking toward the goal down to my right. We play two 45-minute halves. This is the 17 and under division of the U.S. Youth Soccer League. Now, I'll do the very best I can. Frankly, I haven't done but one soccer game, and that was the one just completed in my life. And that was won by Upper Midwest out of Michigan, 3-0, over the 2000 Showcase team from Tennessee. Goals were scored by Pettinger, Bitchhock, and of course Hayes, to account for the three scores on the side for the Midwest, Upper Midwest region out of Michigan. So we're underway. We've just begun. No score early on in the ball game, as most of the action has taken place up along the midline of the pitch. Once again, in white shirts and black shorts are the team from New Jersey, the Stampede, while the Century Gold from Western Pennsylvania in burnt orange with black. Right now, the Stampede attacking the goal down to our right, and the ball kicked out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede. It'll belong to Century Gold. As these young ladies have a lot to play for here, as right now the ball's stolen back by the Stampede. The Stampede downfield toward the midline. And in the early going, they appear to be very evenly matched. Right now, we've got a slow ball going toward the goal that's caught by the goalie for the Stampede, and the Stampede will launch it in the backfield, closely guarded by the team from Western Pennsylvania. As this is the 17 and under division of this prestigious tournament. Girls from 27 states are on hand, as we've got our first shot of the ball game taken by the Stampede wide to the left, and it'll go back the other way. That shot taken by the Stampede's number 17, and we'll try to corral our roster here as it's somewhat breezy here in Wilson, North Carolina. A beautiful day, a lot of sunshine, but a lot of wind as well, as we are under the tent here at the main official scorers tent at Gillette Field. No score. We've just got underway. Thank you. As that first goal was attempted by Jamie Walton of the Stampede. It was no good. And we'll go back the other way with it now. The Century Gold team shooting at the goal to our left will take it downfield in the right corner. The Gold will kick it out of bounds. Last touched, I believe, by the Gold. So we'll wait and see if maybe a Stampede player got her hand on it. If so, that would be a penalty kick, of course, for the Gold. And the Gold will set it up for a kick from the right side as everybody gathers in front of the Gold. and the kick is sent goalward, but it's kicked out, and the Century Gold will still have possession, but it's stolen away by the Stampede. It remains, though, in the offensive zone of the Century Gold. Now it's downfield into the Stampede zone, and the Century Gold goalkeeper will kick it back the other way. The Century Gold out of Western Pennsylvania going up against the Stampede team from New Jersey. As we mentioned, we've got 128 teams representing 5 age groups. As the ball down in front of the goal for the Stampede, they can't get anything inside to the back of the net. Both teams playing very, very close defense in the early going. The Stampede will have the ball in their zone, although the Century Gold, they're dead after it. Right now the Gold will control. The Gold with the ball in the backfield, 17 and under. 5 states have 2 teams. They are Texas, Ohio, Pennsylvania, California, and New York. 27 states are represented, and 32 state soccer associations are represented. As we said, this tournament being held in Wilson for the 8th consecutive year, as the winner will be in each age group advancing to another tournament down the road, and these girls certainly get to travel quite a bit in fulfilling their soccer dynasties, as we've got a whistle and a yellow flag with orange polka dots will signify a kick by the Gold, and the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede. The Gold will inbounds it with a 2-hand toss into the left corner. The Gold with the ball left of the goal, and goalward they march, and the ball again kicked out of bounds. Last touched, they say, by the Stampede team, so it'll still be the Gold ball, and whether it'll be a corner kick or not, I'm not sure. I think it will, though, from the left corner, as the Century Gold out of Western Pennsylvania will put it in play right in front of the goal, and instead of going for the goal, they go short with it, and now the action in front of the goal, as about 10 girls are gathered, and the goal will have an opportunity to score, but a good save by the Stampede, and a follow shot is good by the Gold. And the Gold leads it by a 1-0 score, as we'll endeavor to get the name of that girl who scored that goal, as the goal comes at the 7:20 mark into the first period. And the Century Gold leads it by a 1-0 score. As right now the Stampede looking to tie things up. Down the right side it goes, and knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Gold, and it will be the Stampede's ball. Correction, that will belong to the Gold. The Gold will have it on the out-of-play possession. The Gold will have a direct kick, and the Gold sends it downfield. It's intercepted by the Stampede, and with that ball, the Stampede with it right in front, and we'll certainly go down the rosters for each team as we have time during this match. The ball kicked out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede. It'll belong to the Gold, I believe, as the action is fast and furious. Again, now the Stampede will have the ball. The Stampede throws it in toward the goal, and right in the middle of the goal, a shot will go over the goal, and it belongs to the Century Gold team from Western Pennsylvania. They've drawn the early lead, 1-0, as the Gold was able to go to the back of the net with a rebounding shot, and we're waiting now for the ball to be retrieved. My name is Alton Britt, and I'm glad to be with you as part of the Torbo Sports Network and the Torbo Sports Group. Good save by the Gold and interception by the Stampede. The Stampede going backwards, trying to get some leverage to go forward, and the ball up toward midline, and the Gold runs it down, and two girls run into each other, and certainly hope none of them are hurt. One gets up a Gold player with a bit of a limp, and that will be Natalie Daub. Odabe, but I think she's okay. She's going to shake it off. She's an awfully tough young lady. In fact, she's going to make the throw in from out of play, inbounds to a teammate, in front of the goal to the left. The ball advanced, and we've got a whistle and a foul on the play. Another free kick coming up for the Gold, and the Gold will kick it. Number 12 on the kick will be Jess Wilhelm. Will kick it from the left side and sends it goalward. A high kick that's taken in midair, right out of midair, by the goalie for the Stampede. So nothing doing, and we'll come back the other way, as it's 1-0 in favor of the Century Gold. The goal coming at 7:20 of the first period on a rebounding effort by a Gold player, and we'll identify that player just as quickly as we can. The clock, never stops in soccer, and so we don't have much of an opportunity to illuminate on what has happened, as the Stampede will go swiftly down the left side. In the corner, the shot toward the middle of the pitch. The Stampede can't get a clear shot on goal, but now they do. A lofty shot will go just over and out of bounds, and that was a nice shot attempt by the Stampede player. I believe that's number 13, who made that soft effort, as that's a Caitlin Hogan, I believe. And it'll go to the goal now. The goal down toward their offensive end. Gold still in possession of the ball on the far right side. The Gold dribbling down toward the corner. And we've got a whistle and a yellow flag. And it'll be possession of the Stampede. The Stampede has it nearly intercepted by the Gold, and now is intercepted right back. And we are in a 1-0 game at the 12:48 mark of the first period. The Stampede out of New Jersey and the Century Gold out of Western Pennsylvania. And right now the Stampede with the ball. First match won by Upper Midwest out of Michigan over Showcase 2000 out of Tennessee, 3-0. Right now on the go with the ball, the girls from the Stampede. Hogan has it, good maneuver out in the middle, and now finagling for a shot but unable to get one away is the Stampede. Stampede still with the ball. Stampede with the ball in front of the goal. Now it's intercepted by the Century Gold. The Century Gold, and a collision right at midline on the pitch, and is stolen back by Hogan and the Stampede. Downfield, the Stampede goes into the right corner. The ball kicked toward the goal and finally drilled out of bounds. Drilled out of bounds as the coach for the Stampede yelling rather vociferously off to my side. That's Sean Cryer. He's assisted by Lee Byford. from Montclair and North Bergen, New Jersey, respectively, as the Stampede will try to tie things up. The ball, though, on toward the goal and is caught by the goalie for the Western Pennsylvania Gold. And the goalie will kick it out of bounds down to our right, where the Stampede will resume their offensive attack. Stampede being guarded very closely by the Gold, and a steal by the Gold, and the Gold now with number 99 leading the way down the left side. She's knocked down, and a collision in the corner, and we've got a yellow flag on the play as play resumes. The Gold in the offensive attack zone. The Gold will shoot it toward the left of the goal weakly, and it's stopped by the goalie. By the Stampede at 15-12 of the opening period. 1-0 on a goal by the Gold at the 7:20 mark of the first period. Downfield, the Gold will kick it toward the sidelines. It's saved inbounds, and a good kick by Hogan. Down the right side it goes, and the Gold will kick it back out to Hogan. Hogan with a stop with the right foot will drill it toward the middle of the pitch. The Stampede looking for a maneuver that might result in a point, as again the ball nearly stolen by the Gold. And the Gold now, they do have it, but they send it the way of the Stampede down to our left. And the Stampede will resume their jaunt back upfield to my right. The Stampede down 1-0 at the 16-13 mark of period number 1. Substitution getting ready to enter the game for the Gold. That's Haley Bayer. Haley getting set to come in the white jersey with the gray numeral, the black shorts. The ball kicked downfield by the Stampede, and now a goalie attempt and a great save by the goalie for Pennsylvania, Kate Fesco, as Hogan had a dead bead on that back of the net, but it was tipped at the last moment by the young lady from the Stampede, as right now the Stampede will send in number 22, Haley Bayer. Bayer will replace number 16, Camille Juliana, as it remains 1-0 in favor of the team from Western Pennsylvania, the Century Gold. My name's Alton Britt. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to our sponsors. We'll list those for you in just a moment. And the good folks at Torbo Sports Productions as Sports Network, they are doing a great job of streaming all the action here from the Gillette Field, number 1 in Wilson, North Carolina, the 8th straight year that Wilson has been a part of the hosting of this prestigious tournament. Other fields in the area, one at Rocky Mount at the sports complex, and the others all in Wilson at Fike High School, at Bedingfield High School, and in Barton College. As the ball is kicked down deep by the Gold, and the goalie for the Stampede will kick it out of harm's way. Back upfield, Hogan will drill it. Hogan with the ball back to a Stampede teammate, kicked out of bounds by Tennessee, and we've got the Stampede with the ball. The Stampede will throw it in. Stampede will search for some offense as they trail 1-0 to a goal scored at the 7:20 mark of period number 1 by the Century Gold team off a rebound. We're at the 19-minute mark of the first period. We play 45 here at the Gillette Field number 1. And we'll identify each of these girls as we can go along. Number 22 for the Stampede is Haley Bayer. Number 4 is Hannah Bush. Number 19 is Mackenzie Butler. 00 is Sarah Garashi. Number 1 is Maya Greenstein. Number 44 is Ruby Hasty. Number 13 is Caitlin Hogan. Number 12 is Lauren Holden. Number 20, Riley Hurahan. Number 14 is Naomi Joseph. As the gold continuing to attack the goal down to our left, and now there will be a change of possessions. The Stampede will have it. Number 16 is Camille Juliana. Number 5 is Corrine Kropas. Number 11, Sarah Miller. Number 7 is Jillian O'Toole. Number 8 is Maria Orozco Sanchez. Number 15 is Ashley Serafin. And number 17, as the Stampede kicks it upfield, number 17 is Jamie Walton. Again, the coaches are Sean Cryer and Lee Byford. For the California Gold team of Western Pennsylvania, number 7 is Ariana Caminos. Number 8 is Natalie Daub. Number 7 is Kylie Dugan. Number 13 is Kate Fesco. Number 1 is Morgan Harding. Number 43 is Catherine Hassett. Number 16 is Emma Hoffman. Number 15 is Julia Jalamia. Number 17 is Greta Lazara. Number 20, Megan Lyons. Number 11, Landy Mertz. Number 10, Emily Orr. As the gold attack downfield but can't get into the back of the net. Gold with the ball, that's intercepted by one of the Stampede players. She loses it to a gold player who tries to get it out of harm's way, but does so right into the legs of a Stampede player. Emily Orr is number 10. Christina Rytel is number 9. Maya Sharpless is number 42. Sarah Senat is number 99. Sydney Snyder is number 14. Number 25 is Melody Visman. And number 12 is Jess Wilhelm. The coaches for the gold team are Randy Rome, head coach, assisted by Carlos Caminos and Patrick Vareb. And the manager is Allison Daub. I apologize if I mispronounced any of the names, as this is my first time seeing them, as a shot by the Stampede is caught by the goalie for the gold, and she sends it downfield. 22:45 into the first period, 1-0 in favor of the goal. The goal coming at the 7:10 mark of the opening period. The Stampede has threatened, both teams have threatened, but the only one to find the rear of the net has been the California Gold. The Century Gold, I should say. Century V Gold, as they still are on the attack down in their offensive end of the pitch. The ball brought out toward midline by the team in white, the Stampede out of New Jersey. But the Century Gold, I apologize for calling them the California Gold. California does have 2 teams in this tournament, but not in this game. The Century Gold out of Western Pennsylvania, and the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede out of New Jersey. 1-0 in favor of the gold. We're 23:54 into the first period as the Stampede working around in front of the box, and the gold will kick it far side to Hogan. Hogan tries to get it back, can't do it. and pass out toward midline. Stampede still with the ball as it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Stampede player, and it'll be Century v. Gold, and it's their possession. The score is 1-0 in favor of Century v. Gold as the ball is headed out of bounds by the Gold, and the Stampede will inbounds the soccer ball. The Stampede trail 1-0. Early goal scored by the Century v. Gold. Stampede, they've had a lot of action at their offensive end of the field. They've just not been able to get it into the net. And the Gold will send it over on the right-hand side, and it will go, I believe, out of bounds and will belong to the Century Gold team. It's the Century v. Gold out of Western Pennsylvania against the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede out of New Jersey. 1-0, the Gold leads with a goal scored off a rebound at the 7:20 mark into the first period. We have 25-20 left in the first period right now. Two girls fighting for the ball near the sidelines. Hogan, very active for the Stampede. Down the right side it goes. Stampede will lose possession, though, to the Gold out of Pennsylvania. The Gold will go up against a single defender and will relinquish the ball to their goalkeeper. And their goalkeeper will send it goalward for the Gold. And that's somewhat tricky to say, the goalward, Gold. But right now, the ball kicked out by the Stampede. That'll be the Gold's ball going from right to left. As we've got another substitute ready to step in for the team from New Jersey. As the ball goes right by me on the out of bounds, it'll be the Stampede ball. And into the game now, number 20 for the Stampede. Number 20 is Raleigh Hurahan. Hurahan into the lineup for the Gold, and a great score. A score by the Stampede will even things up. That's as a lid just hit me right upside the head. That goal scored at the 26:15 mark of the first period by the team in white. And nice goal in the center of the back of the net, and we're deadlocked at one apiece at the 27:12 mark of the first period. As the Stampede had attacked all game long, and finally they got one to fall. As right now the Stampede will once again go on the offensive attack as the lid from a supply den seated down in front of the timekeeper here flew off and hit me square in the nose, and I hope I kept on going. As about the time the score was made by the Stampede, evening this match at 1-1. So 1-0, the early score by the Gold, but it was tied up at the 26:15 mark by the Stampede. Right now we're 28:01 into the first period of play, and the Stampede now beginning to show some extra stamina as they've got the ball in the backfield. Stampede trying to get it upfield for another score, and we'll certainly get the names of those goal scorers for you at halftime and have them for you during our call of action in the second half here in Wilson at Gillette Field. As the Century Gold team now will intercept the ball and bring it down the right side. The Gold will kick right into the teeth of the Stampede defense. Stampede with the ball in the offensive zone, 28:51 into the first period of play here at Gillette. Nice crowd is gathered across the way, as on the side I'm on, only the coaches and players and officials are allowed, all the spectators on the far side. A beautiful sun-swept, wind-swept day here in Wilson, North Carolina. The temperature around 68 degrees, but the wind in gusts up to about 20 miles per hour. And we're expecting some cooler weather for the remaining days of this tournament, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And right now, you couldn't ask for a prettier day except for the excessive wind, which certainly has caused some excitement on the sidelines, if not on the field. And the Stampede, they are intercepted once again as two girls hit down, and one comes up holding her head. That's number 43 of the Century Gold team. We'll check her out. That's number 43. That's Catherine Hassett. Certainly hope she's going to be okay. She's up and playing, so evidently all right. And the Gold continues to attack at the 30-20 mark of the first period. Downfield, the Gold with the ball, and the Gold on the left side, down toward the net, intercepted by the Stampede, as the Gold's number 14, Sydney Snyder, had an opportunity but couldn't do much with it, as the Gold now will have it on the out-of-bounds play. Out of bounds, thrown in, intercepted by the Stampede. Downfield, the Stampede kicks it my way, where it's headed by the Century Gold. Good header by Sydney Snyder. And the ball downfield, and we've got another sub getting ready to come into the ball game. Ariana Caminos getting set to check in for the Century 5 Gold out of Western Pennsylvania. Score all tied, 1-1. My name's Alton Britt. You're looking at the Torbut Sports Network production from the U.S. Youth Soccer National League All-Girls Tournament in Wilson, North Carolina. Another sub ready to come in for the Stampede. The ball worked to the front of the net, and no one could get a shot. The Stampede comes away with it. The Stampede knocked down as we've got another player getting ready to come into the ball game for the Stampede, as that's number 19, Mackenzie Butler. Butler getting set to check in, waiting at midcourt with an official, and Butler will check into the lineup. Coming out of the lineup for the Stampede will be number 44, Ruby Hasty. So Butler for Hasty, and play resumes. The Stampede from out of play on the far side, downfield to Hogan, score tied 1-1. Hogan with a long kick down inside the box where a teammate can't get a clear shot on goal and passes it out. Hogan with a nice foot maneuver will send it goalward where it's headed by the Stampede, but no goals. The Century Gold will kick it back the other way. Two subs getting ready to check in for the Century Gold team. Century Gold down the right side, 32:58 into the first period, score tied 1-1. And the ball is going out of bounds, and I don't know if someone's going to have a corner kick or not, as I believe the Gold might have just that corner kick. The Gold will substitute number 25 and number 17. Number 25 is Melody Visman. Number 17 is Greta Lazara. And we're set for action, as it won't be a corner kick, but just the Gold ball on the side, but it's intercepted by the Stampede at the 33:46 mark of the first period. It goes out of bounds, last touch by the Gold. Inbounds comes the Stampede. The Gold had the first goal at the 7:10 mark, and the Stampede reciprocated later on in the period. That's where we are right now, 1-1, as the Century Gold team loses the ball to an intercept by the Stampede. Hogan, deep right side. Hogan back. Hogan passes to a teammate, back to Hogan. Hogan across field, deep into the right corner. Run down by the Stampede. Score tied 1-1, 34-32. As the Stampede now with a chance at another goal, but a great stop by the Western Pennsylvania goalie. We'll send it back the other way at the 34-46 mark of period number 1. The Gold scored first, the Stampede second. We're tied 1-1 as the ball being advanced goalward now by the Western Pennsylvania team. Western Pennsylvania will shoot it toward the middle, and nearly having a breakaway was number 10, Emily Orr, but the ball is intercepted and sent back the other way by the Stampede. And the Gold will intercept. The Stampede gets it right back. A good pass down inside the box, but good defense by the Gold will prevent a shot on goal. As we've got another sub getting ready to come into the Western Pennsylvania lineup, number 16. Number 16 is Emma Hoffman, as we've got a near breakaway, but a good recovery by the Stampede and a steal by the Stampede. We'll send it back the other way as the Gold nearly had a breakaway effort at time, but again, a good defense by the Stampede. Now the Gold in good position, and the shot rolls toward the goal and goes outside on the left. So a near shot will come up empty. And number 16 for the Gold, Emma Hoffman. Number 8 for the Stampede, that's Maria Orozco Senyas, will enter the lineup shortly. Right now, the Stampede will have their goalie send it toward the offensive zone at the 36-39 mark of the first period. Score tied 1-1. Very competitive match, as was the first one, even though the young ladies from Tennessee had a very difficult time getting into the offensive flow, losing 3-0 to the team from the upper Midwest in Michigan. Right now, California Gold with the ball to the left of the goal. A pass goes toward the goal on the right side, intercepted by the goalie, and sent back toward the Stampede at the 37-16 mark. 17 and under action in the U.S. Youth Soccer National League Tournament. Right now, with the soccer ball, the Gold, they will have it at midline on the pitch. The Gold will send it back toward their offensive end. Running the ball down for the Gold in the deep left corner will be number 25. 25 just inserted into the lineup just a moment ago, Melody Visman. And now we've got a stoppage of play. Clock continues to run, 37-52, as we'll wait and see what the situation is going to be. The Gold has the ball, and I think they're going to have a corner kick from the left side, from the left corner, as the Gold and the Stampede tied at 1-1. And the coach of the Stampede venting his emotions down to our left as the corner kick, nothing comes of it, and is kicked out of bounds. Last touched by the Century v. Gold. It'll belong to the Stampede at the 38-31 mark of period 1. As we've got a 1-1 soccer match unfolding late in the first period here in Wilson. The U.S. Youth Soccer National League all-girls tournament, 17 and under division, playing right now, and the Torbo Sports Group responsible for the streaming of the production, the Torbo Sports Network, if you will, as right now the action down on the offensive end of the Gold, but the Stampede steals it away at the 39-13 mark. The ball headed back toward the goal for the Stampede, but good defense again by the Gold. And here comes the Stampede downfield. Again, the Gold with the carom. The Gold near the out-of-bounds mark and is hit off of Hogan of the Stampede. It'll belong to the Gold near the midline of the pitch. Deep pass, a crossing pass downfield, intercepted, and now two players run together. The Stampede come away with it, but kick it back, and a Gold player nearly had it, but the ball intercepted by the goalie right in front of the goal at the 39-minute mark of the first period. Score tied 1-1. Downfield, here come the Stampede. A 1-on-2, but a shot can't be made, and the kick deep in the right corner at the 40-14 mark. Ball match tied 1-1. A goal at 7-10 for the California goal, and then an equalizing goal later on in the period by the Stampede. As the ball right in front of the Stampede goal, right now the Stampede trying to get a cushion before halftime. Stampede attacking, sends the ball goalward, but is stopped by the Gold and brought out near midline. Now the Gold will run it down and kick it toward the sideline on the right. Hogan will shoot a deep pass, which is kicked back the other way by the Century V Gold. The Gold and the Stampede battling for the ball in the offensive end of the Stampede. Still a battle going on. The Stampede coming away with it. Into the middle of the field it goes, and the shot can't be made, but a pass inside the box is knocked out of bounds by the Gold, and the Gold will go back the other way with it. The Gold will shoot it downfield. Nice header out of bounds by the Stampede, and the Gold will have it at the 41-30 mark here on the out of bounds down to my left. My name's Alton Britt. Glad you can join us, along with Torbo Sports Productions, Torbo Sports Network, for the streaming of this very important 17 and under soccer match being played in the all-girls U.S. Youth Soccer National League Tournament in Wilson, North Carolina. Right now, with 42 showing on the clock, 42 minutes in to the first half, the Stampede take it away. The Stampede down the left side. Stampede crosses the pitch line in the middle. Downfield toward the goal. Now it goes backwards. Stampede doing a good job keeping possession of the soccer ball. Soccer match tied at 1-1. Stampede on the attack. Down the right side, it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede. And the ball will belong, I believe, to the California V Gold. As we've got a 1-1 game, 42-43, into the first half of play here in Wilson. Stampede with the ball near the midline, and the Gold come back the other way. Stampede, once again, get it. Stampede in the middle. In the middle, nice pass. Stampede with the soccer ball. Over on the left side, pass down to the left corner, and running it down and knocking it out of bounds, I believe, the Gold, and that should result in a corner kick for the Stampede at the 43-17 mark of the first period, as the players now will gather themselves around the front of the Gold, and the kick from the right corner kick position by the Stampede will waft and then headed toward the goal, but over the goal, and it'll go out of play, and it will belong to the Century V Gold team at the 43-46 mark of period one. 1-1 the score. I'm Alton Britt. Thanks for joining us on Torbo Sports Network for the streaming of this important tournament soccer 17 and under matchup. 44:04 left on the clock as the Stampede steals it away. Stampede probably has had a little bit better of it offensively, although the score is tied 1-1. The Pennsylvania team got on the board first, followed by a goal scored by the Stampede. 44-25, Stampede has it knocked back toward midline. Stampede runs it down. Stampede trying to get a shot on goal before the half ends as two girls collide in the front section of the field. One player, a Stampede player, slow to get up, and the ball kicked out of bounds, last touch by the California Gold at the 44-48 mark. And the Stampede will have it in the offensive zone on the side with just seconds remaining. And California backing up to that goal, trying to prevent a goal as the clock down at the 45-minute mark. And I'm guessing once they have a run started, they let it clear out before calling an end to the half. And that will be the halftime here at Gillette Field as we've got a 1-1 match. The Century Gold and the New Jersey Stampede. Sir, I want to try to honor our sponsors. Of course, they make our streaming possible. The sponsors of today's stream, we'll get up with them in just a moment, as the wind is not doing us a whole lot of favors here at the official scorer's tent. Right now, I've run down all those sponsors, and as we go into halftime, I would like to thank our sponsors, which are Nike, Bubba Burger, Kohl's, MLS, Nesquik, Positive Coaching Alliance, Toyota, Wilson Trophy Company, NSCAA, and the U.S. Soccer Association. Once again, our thanks. The 2016 U.S. Youth Soccer National League Fall Showcase, they are brought to you by the aforementioned. Halftime score is a Century V from Western Pennsylvania 1 and the New Jersey Stampede 1. Do y'all got the names of the goal scorers? Who? 17? Okay. 17 for New Jersey and 9. Thank you. And we're set for the second half of action. Score tied after one half of play, 1-1. Sinnett with the goal score for Pennsylvania, and Walton the goal scored for the Stampede. Stampede will shoot at the goal down to our left this half, and the California, or rather, I don't know why I keep saying California, the Century 5 goal team will shoot at the goal down to our right. Once again, tied up at 1 apiece. I'm Alton Britt, and we certainly appreciate your joining us for the U.S. Youth Soccer National League All-Girls Tournament here in Wilson, North Carolina. Again, Jamie Walton scoring for the Stampede at the 26:15 mark. First goal, though, scored by Sarah Sinnott, number 99, at the 7:20 mark of the first half. And we are at the 46-minute mark right now. Deadlocked 1 apiece, as we've got the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede in white jerseys, and in burnt orange we've got the Century V Gold out of Western Pennsylvania. As the clock now at the 46:24 mark of the second half of play. And the first half, again, deadlocked, a 1-1, as we've got a stoppage in action. Now the Stampede will play it in from the right corner. The Stampede and the Gold will go across field with it. The Stampede runs it down, and nice pass out to a player near the middle of the field. That player double teamed, and a steal by the Western Pennsylvania team, but the speedy Stampede gets right on the ball, and ball kicked downfield by Century V, the Gold, and it's stopped by the goalkeeper for the Stampede, and the Stampede will go on the offensive attack. Once again, Walton at 26:15 of the first half, and Sinnott at 7:20 of the first half. First goal scored by the Western Pennsylvania team, followed, of course, by the Stampede. Very even match thus far, as this is the 17 and under age division from Wilson, North Carolina. Hope you are enjoying the podcast as it's being streamed by the Torbo Sports Network. Right now, the Gold down deep to my left, and the ball kicked out of bounds, as once again the vociferous coach of the New Jersey team to my left yelling out instructions to his players, and the long throw-in intercepted by the Stampede. If I were to say which team had the better of it the first half offensively, although the score was tied, I'd have to give the edge to the Stampede. But certainly good defense played by both clubs. Right now, the ball deep toward the right corner, as running for it, both a Western Pennsylvania player and a New Jersey player. And the Gold will inbounds the ball. A player knocked down. Here come the Stampede. The Stampede down the left side. The coach, you probably can hear him yelling for the Stampede. Off to my left as two girls run together. The Stampede still in possession. Down toward the left side, a lob toward the goal is kicked away by the Gold, and now shot lofted toward the goal by the Stampede. No good. Kicked outside, and Stampede will set it up again. Stampede tries another shot from the right side at a severe angle, and it's no good. It's stopped by the goalkeeper for the Century 5 Gold. We're in the second half, 49-21 in, and we're tied 1-1. Both goals in the first half at the 7:20 mark of the first half. Sarah Sinnott of the Century 5 Gold scored, and then at 26:15 of the first half, Jamie Walton of the Stampede scored to tie things up, and that's where we are right now. Once again, my name's Alton Britt. Thank you for listening, And again, I must apologize because I was pressed into action right at the last second. And to be honest with you, I've never seen a half dozen soccer games in my life. And basically, I'm a football, basketball, baseball man. But I want to try to help my buddy Chase Beigel out. And that's what I'm doing here in my hometown of Wilson. Wilson, a town of about 50,000, about 45 miles east of the capital city of Raleigh, and about 100 miles west of the Atlantic Ocean. So from Wilson, you can get to the mountains in about 3.5 hours, and you can get to the ocean in about 2 hours as the ball is kicked wide on the left side. It's no good, and a run down by the goalkeeper, and the score remains deadlocked at 1-1. As a beautiful, sunny, windswept day here in Wilson. Temperature is supposed to drop the next couple of days. We'll wait and see what happens as a long throw-in near midline of the pitch and downfield on the left side with the soccer ball. The goalie now will inbounds it to the Stampede. The Stampede down the far left side, and the Gold get it right back. The Gold with the ball, the Gold in the middle of the pitch, and downfield interception by the Stampede. The Stampede at midline of the pitch, and downfield, the Stampede can't get a player loose, and the ball's lobbed across field where the Stampede run it down. And a twisting shot toward the goal, and then another kick toward the midline, intercepted by the Stampede. The Stampede with the ball in the attack zone of the Stampede at the 52:01 mark of the second half. And match all tied 1-1 as three head bounces in a row performed by the Century 5 Gold in the deep corner, shot by the Stampede. Stampede toward the goal, no good. Stampede get the rebound, send a shot toward the goal. Did it go in? No. And it's followed in. It's followed in on a nice follow shot, and the Stampede will take a 2-1 lead as the field was tilted over the way of the right side, and the ball quickly came across on the left, and the score made, and I really can't see her number for her ponytail. I think it's number 16 at the 50.12 mark of the second half, and the goal scored by number 16. We'll search our rosters here and come up with it now in just a moment as the wind has played havoc with our trying to keep any sense of normalcy on the sidelines today. In any event, the Stampede take a 2-1 lead as my roster sheet for the Stampede has gone awry. Now a high kick is good just over the outstretched arms of the Stampede goalie, and that came at 53-30. So two goals close together, as I believe number 15 scored the goal for the Gold team, and we'll at least get her name. And that was scored by Julia Lalama. Julia Lalama of the Gold at 53-30, and the game is tied 2-2. As we've had two goals in quick succession, and now near another goal, and it is a goal. Another goal by the Stampede, and the Stampede at the 54:02 mark take the lead. And three goals in less than about 3 minutes, as it's a 3-2 lead by the Stampede, as The goal scored by La Lama for the Gold, followed by another goal in close by the Stampede, and the Stampede have scored 2 goals in just a couple of minutes to take a 3-2 lead over Century 5 from Western Pennsylvania. And now the Stampede on the attack again. They smell blood, and they break a player down the left side, left-footed kick, no good, and knocked out of bounds. The last touch by the attacking team, so it'll belong to the California Gold at the 55-30 mark of the second half. The Stampede with a 3-2 lead. The score was tied 1-1 at halftime. And both teams' offenses alive here in the early part of the second half. And we've got the Gold will kick it out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede, though, as 2 girls go out of bounds, and it will belong still to the Century 5 Gold. But the Stampede with the steal downfield, go the Stampede, where it's again intercepted by the Gold. And the girls in a dizzying array of hijinks with their feet, really impressing, particularly a newcomer to the sport of soccer. As we've got a whistle and we've got a direct kick, I believe, coming. We'll wait and see, as right now the goalie it'll be a free kick from the box toward the net of the Stampede. Stampede leads it 3-2 after being tied 1-1 and taking a 2-1 lead, seeing it briefly tied at 2, and then a score making it 3-2 as the Stampede with a 1-goal lead. The Stampede with the ball. Downfield is kicked out of bounds by the Stampede. It'll be the Gold's ball. The Stallions, the Stampede with a 3-2 lead as the ball goes out of bounds. And it'll belong to the Burnt Orange team from Western Pennsylvania as they attack the offensive end at the 57-36 mark. And the score 3-2. We've got a whistle and a foul. And more histrionics on the side by the New Jersey coach as the Stampede now will play defense against a Gold direct kick. And the Gold with a chance to tie things up with a successful kick at the 58:03 mark of the second half. As one player leaves, another one shoots it toward the goal, but it's knocked away. And the Gold do not score. They had an opportunity. The Stampede comes away with the ball. Good defense by the Stampede and a header toward the goal by the team in Burnt Orange from Western Pennsylvania goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Stampede. The Stallions Academy at the 58:35 mark of the second half. 3-2 lead for the Stallions, or the Stampede, if you'd rather. Right now, New Jersey besting Pennsylvania. As we've got a scrum in the middle of the field to the left of the midline of the pitch, and the Stallions come out of there with it, but stolen right back. The Gold and pile up between 2 players, one from each team, right at about 3/4 of the field, and we'll get a free kick by the Gold. The Gold downfield over the head of everyone at the 59:18 mark, and 2 players chasing it. Finally, it goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Stampede. The Stampede up by 1, 3-2 at the 59:35 mark of the second half. Right now, the Stampede with the soccer ball down the left side in front of my position, deep down the left side into the corner. The ball kicked out of bounds by the Gold, and it'll belong to the Stallions. The Stampede, the New Jersey Stallions Academy the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede. I'm not sure whether to call it Stallions or the Stampede. I guess either one would do. As the ball is inbounded, and now it belongs to the team from Western Pennsylvania. As the ball on the far side, the kick downfield will meet the foot of a Gold player, then a Stallion, back to a Gold. Now run out, and number 11 for the Gold had a chance but couldn't quite come up with it. The Stallions back the other way. The Stallions, a nice kick downfield, and the Gold with a beautiful job of stopping play. Kicking the ball out of bounds, and the clock continues on at the 60-50 mark of the second half. 3-2 Stallions, or Stampede if you prefer, over the Century 5 Gold out of Western Pennsylvania. Stallions, Stampede on the offensive attack. Ball crossed, two girls hit it at the same time, into the deep left corner, and out of bounds it goes. Saved in bounds by the Stampede. The Stampede still in the offensive zone, and a high floating kick is caught by the Gold goalkeeper. So, at the 61-28 mark, 3-2 game in favor of the Stallions over the Century 5 Gold. As both teams giving it their best effort here on this splendid but windy afternoon in Wilson, North Carolina. Right now, the ball at the midline of the pitch, and the ball will be given to the Stampede. 61-53 left to play in the second half, and it's the Stallions 3, the Gold 2. It was 1-1 at halftime after one half of play, and the Gold trying to get it back the other way. Stampede, though, very, very aggressive bunch. They get the soccer ball back to the right side. It goes, and the girl falls down. Two girls fall down, and they tussle with each other a little bit, and now the ball is given on a free kick to the Gold. The Gold downfield headed toward the goal by the Stampede, and the Stampede comes away with it. The Stampede downfield, passed right in the middle, intercepted by the Gold. The Gold back the other way. We're at the 62-53 mark of the second half, and the Stampede will have it right at midfield. Stampede, or the Stallions, the New Jerseyites, they lead it by 3-2 score over the Western Pennsylvanians. Right now, the Stampede in the attack zone. Down the right side it goes. Outside, ball still being kicked, back toward the midline. Stampede still with possession. 63-27 into, and the Stampede controlling the soccer ball. The Stampede, with beautiful teamwork, will send it deep where it's caught by the Century 5 Gold. And the Gold now with another chance to even things up. They trail by one goal at 3-2. But the Stallions get it right back. The Stallions near midline, back toward the attack zone. Good defense being played by the Century 5 Gold, and we've got a tie-up, and the ball will belong to the Gold. And the Gold from near midline will pass it downfield. Down the left side, we've got 64-18 into the second half as Hogan gets set to check back in for the Stallions. Out of New Jersey, as the play is stopped across field as we get something attended to. Once again, nice crowd on hand as Hogan awaits Hasty, whom she will replace. Hogan into the lineup, and Hasty out. The ball will belong to the team in burnt orange. And now the Stampede with a steal, 65-02 into the second half. Stampede by 1, 3-2. Stampede ball kicks it down toward midline. Stampede ball as a sub gets ready to come in for Pennsylvania. That'll be number 42, Myla Sharpless. Sharpless set to come in as downfield, and the goalie captures the ball just right of the goal. And the goalie will send it downfield toward the goal for the Stampede. The Stampede had a chance at a breakaway and kicked it off to the right instead. But they run it down, being guarded closely by the Gold. The Gold will send it out, and now they have the ball back the other way. The Gold trying to get into the scoring zone as they need one to tie. They are down at the 66:01 mark of the second half. Down the left side, the ball advanced by the Stampede, and the goalie for the Stampede kicks it back to a Stampede player. Stampede still in possession at the 66-17 mark. Stampede 3, Gold 2. My name's Alton Britt. Thank you for joining us by way of the Turbo Sports Network. As what a great job the guys have done all tournament long. The first game won by Midwest out of Michigan over the Tennessee team from 2000 showcase by a 3-0 score. Right now we've got another sub into the ball game, and into the game goes Natalie Daub on the out of bounds. The ball controlled by the Gold, but it turns it over to the Stallions at the 67.18 mark of the second half. Right now the Stallions trying to protect a 1-goal lead as we've got 67-29, and the Stallions threaten a runaway, but a good defensive effort by the Gold will thwart that. Back toward the goal, the Stallions send the soccer ball, and no go. Now the ball kicked again on the right side, stopped by the foot of a Stallion player toward the goal, ahead by the Stallion, and back out toward midline. The Stallions, again, trying to protect a 1-goal lead and trying to add to it as the Stallions will get the ball to the left of the goal. The shot toward the right side, saved inbounds, a left-footed kick, hits the goalpost and bounces back in favor of the Gold, but right back it goes to the Stampede at the 68-18 mark. The Stampede will retain possession as the Gold kicks it out of bounds across the way. As we've got another sub getting ready to come into the ball game, and a sub for the Stampede, number 12, as we've evidently misplaced our roster for the Stampede team, as we've got a Stampede player with a bloody nose going out to our left, being attended to by the medics here on hand at the Gillette Soccer Park, and a close kick wide left goes right by the goal by the Stampede, and that injured Stampede player, number 16, she's okay. She's being attended to. She's in very good hands. Just a brief nosebleed, and I'm sure they'll get the bleeding stopped, and she'll be right back into the fray before too long. 68-32 left to play in the second half. It's 3-2 Stampede. And the Stampede threatening again, but kicked back the other way by the Gold. The Gold need one to tie as we've got a collision right at the midline. The Gold retain possession with about 22 minutes left to play. We're 68 minutes into the second half as the Gold now will maintain possession in the attack zone. And the two girls go down again. What has become a very, very rough soccer match as the girls speedily get back up and the Gold drive goalward, trying to get this match tied at 3-3. Right now, the Stallions ahead 3-2 at the 70-22 mark, and a shot off goal. And a shot saved by the goalie for the Stampede. The Stampede back the other way as we've got another substitute getting ready to come into the lineup for the Gold. And the Stampede down the left side. Stampede outside with it. Stampede 3 and the Gold 2. We're at the 70-50 mark in the second half. My name's Alton Britt. You're watching soccer action from Wilson, North Carolina, Gillette Soccer Complex, as the Stampede maintains possession. Downfield it goes, stolen away by the Gold, and then kicked out of bounds by the Gold. And we've got a substitute ready to come in, number 17, Greta Lazara. Greta Lazara will check in for the Century 5 Gold team. 71-27 into play, and the score 3-2 in favor of the New Jersey Stallions. Another kick over, and good. A great kick from deep on the offensive side by the Stampede, and the Stampede scores again at the 71-17 mark. And the Stampede now with a 2-goal lead. It's a 4-2 with we've got 72-01 into the match. What a beautiful goal that was, as it was kicked about 40 yards out from the goal, and just a floater over the head of the goaler. The goalie, she could do nothing about it unless she was about 8 feet tall, and it just floated into the back of the net, and that gives the Stampede from New Jersey a 4-2 lead at the 72-32 mark. Goals for the Gold coming at 7:20 first half, 53-30 second half. Goals for the Stampede at 26-15 first half, 50-12 second half, 54-02 second half, and 71-17 second half. As the Stampede has bolted from a 1-1 stalemate at halftime to lead by 2 goals at the 73-06 mark of the second half here in Wilson. The Stampede downfield, and the Gold steals it away. The Gold down the right side and stolen away by the Stampede. The Stampede down the left side with the soccer ball, still by the Gold. 73-26 showing on the clock. The Gold trails by 2, 4-2 after leading by a 1-0 score. It was tied up as the Stampede tries another shot, and this one no good, off to the right side, and it was hit last by the Stampede, so it'll belong to the Gold. 73-56 into the match, and we've got a 4-2 lead by the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede. And the Stallions steal it away. The Stallions very aggressive all game long, downfield, headed by the Gold. The Gold pulled back, and we've got a whistle and a foul coming, I believe, as we've got one Stampede player on the field. Now she jumps up, and she's okay. The girl with the bloody nose still being attended to. She's fine, but they just want to make sure they've got all the bleeding stopped and what have you down to our left side. as we've got number 16 into the game for the gold. That's Julia, check that, that's Emma Hoffman. Emma Hoffman in for the Century 5 gold, as it's a 4-2 game, and we've got a free kick by the Stampede, way high over everything, and it'll belong to the gold. 75-12 in, and 4-2 in favor of the Stallions. Over the Century 5 gold from Western Pennsylvania. More subs get set to check in now as number 19 for the Stallions gets set to come into the match as the Stallions steal it once again. The Stallions in the backfield, downfield into the attack zone with the soccer ball, 75-44, into the match. And the ball kicked out of bounds by the gold, and I think it'll be a corner kick for the Stampede. And they lead it 4-2. 3 goals versus 1 for the gold here in the second half, as we were tied 1-1 in the first half. And number 19 into the ball game for the Stampede, number 8, and getting set to check back in for the Stampede as well. As we're 76-21 into the match, 4-2 in favor of the Stallions. And the Stallions with the ball in the attack zone. The Stallions lobs toward the goal, but is kicked back by the gold. The gold trying desperately to get downfield, can't do it. Now they intercept the ball, and they have possession. Cross pass on the right side, it goes, and it'll go down the right side and be stolen away by the Stampede. Stolen right again by the gold, and then a deep kick downfield, stolen again by the Stallions. 76-58 into the match, 4-2 in favor of the Stallions, or the Stampede if you prefer, over the Century 5 gold team from Western Pennsylvania. The Stallions out of New Jersey, 77-14 in, ball downfield. Not much action for the gold at their offensive end the second half, as great defense being played in the second half, particularly by the Stampede. And the Stampede will give it up to the gold, but the gold with only one player back, and the ball goes to the goalie. The goalie across field it goes, as the Stampede will play it in at the 77-46 mark. 4-2 in favor of the New Jersey team over the Western Pennsylvania team. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by the team from Pennsylvania. It'll belong to the Stallions. The Stallions have been most impressive in the second half. Very, very aggressive. And now the ball up for grabs, and coming away with it will be 2 girls who kick it toward the out-of-bounds line, and the Stallions keep it alive. The Stallions will give it up, though, on the out-of-bounds. The inbounds, it'll go to the gold. The gold, cross-sided, goes to one of their players, 78-32. 4-2, the score in favor of the Stallions. Downfield, the Stallions with the ball, and aiming for another score if possible. But the gold steals it away at the 78-48 mark, and the gold knock it out of bounds and giving it right back to the Stampede. We've got 78-58 left to play. Well, 78-58 into the match here in the second half, as the steal is made by the Stallions, and coming away with a steal of their own, the gold, but the Stallions get it right back. The Stallions with a 2-goal lead in the last 11 minutes of action. Can they hold on to it? The Stallions out near midline, just killing clock, will go across field with it. The Stallions and the gold, 2 very well-coached teams. Down toward the goal, it goes wide on the left side, and it will belong to the gold at the 78-41 mark. 4-2, the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede lead the Century 5 Gold from Western Pennsylvania. Another substitution into the lineup for the Stampede at the 80-minute mark of the match. Pass inbound. Stampede has it. Stampede in front of the net. Now it goes to the Gold. The Gold downfield just can't penetrate that strong Stallion defense. The Gold, though, gets it back. Downfield, the Stallions steal it again. The Stallions with the ball and a 2-goal lead at the 80-27 mark of the match. It was 1-1 at halftime, but 3 second-half goals for the Stallions has been the difference. As the Gold kicks it out of bounds, it'll belong to the Stallions at the 80-44 mark of the match. The Stallions now kick it out of bounds and turn it over to the Gold. As, again, the Gold, they haven't been anywhere near their goal the second half, except for that one goal that went in. And it was a high floater from somewhat rather deep. The ball being passed around by the Stallions. Finally, it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Gold, and into the match at the 81-21 mark, it'll be the Stallions' ball. Under 17 under action here in the U.S. Youth Soccer National League from Wilson, North Carolina, as the Stallion, they kick it out of bounds at the 81-37 mark, turning it over to the Gold. The Gold down by 2 goals. The ball does a tightrope across the boundary line on the near side, and the Stallions save it in. Beautiful footwork by the Stallions. They kick it deep now across field, intercepted by the Gold at the 82-minute mark of the match. Downfield, the Gold has it stolen right back by a hustling effort on the part of the Stallions. The Stallions now will attack from right to left. Downfield, the Gold, the Stallions, the Gold, 82-18 in. 4-2 score in favor of the Stallions. And the Stallions once again come up with the loose soccer ball. Into the middle, the Stallions with the ball, trying to kill clock. Will pass it back out. The Stallions with a 2-goal lead, 4-2 at the 82-40 mark of the match. Stallions, soccer ball, all the action taking place across from the net as the Gold steals it right back. And need I say, the Stallions get it right back themselves. The Stallions in the backfield, 83 minutes in, have only 7 minutes to kill, and victory will be theirs. Victory will be theirs to the tune right now is theirs of 4-2, but you can't ever tell. Soccer's a funny game. The Stallions, though, maintaining possession of the ball, and a header toward the goal will go wide left and is run down by the goalie for the Gold at the 83-26 mark. As the goalie will kick it downfield, again intercepted by the Stallions. The Stallions in white against the burnt orange and black of the Western Pennsylvanians. Western Pennsylvania Century 5 Gold. They have the ball stolen by the Stampede and kept in bounds, and now it goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Stampede, so it'll be the Gold's ball at the 84-minute mark. Only 6 minutes left in this tournament contest between the New Jersey Stallions and the Western Pennsylvania Gold. As the Stallions Academy, the ball is kicked out of bounds, caught by the Stallions Academy coach, and he'll hand it off to one of his players. Right in front of him, the ball will be tossed in toward the goal, but intercepted by the Gold, headed by the Gold, and kicked back upfield by the Gold, only to be intercepted by the Stampede at the 84-40 mark of the match. As all this action taking place right now toward the middle of the pitch here at Gillette Soccer Complex. beautiful complex here in Wilson. We're on field 1. I think there are some 10 fields here at Gillette. Gillette's being used along with Wilson High School's Bettyfield and Fike and Barton College in Wilson, along with Rocky Mount at the Rocky Mount Sports Complex, as Wilson hosts for the 8th consecutive year at the 85-11 mark. The gold just cannot get anywhere near that goal. The gold ball in the defensive zone off a Stallion player, and the gold retains now stolen by the Stallions, and attempt shot no good by the Stallions. The Stallions still with the ball. Another shot goes goalward, and it's called by the goalie for the goal. Score remains 4-2 in favor of the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede. At the 85-48 mark, the Gold attempted to get downfield, something they've just not been able to do with any type of success here in the second half, albeit but for one goal. Right now, the Gold intercepts with time running out, and shot stolen, saved by the goalie, though, for Pennsylvania, who passes to a teammate who has it stolen by the Stampede. The Stampede will have it out near the center line at the 86-25 mark. Another shot goalward, caught by the goalie for the Western Pennsylvanians. Passes it far side on the sideline, up the sideline on the far side. One player against two, plus the goalie, and that player's knocked down. And what will we have here? It should be an illegal ploy at the 86-52 mark, giving a free kick to the girls from Western Pennsylvania. Still 3 minutes to go, a 2-goal soccer match as New Jersey, the Stallions, lead the Gold by a 4-2 count. Long kick toward the goal, right in the hands of the goalie. Good effort that time by the Gold at the 87-17 mark. Now the Stallions simply will try to run out that clock and go home with a 4-2 win, hard-fought win, a brilliant second half effort, giving the Stallions what appears to be a sure win today, as the Gold now will get it in the backfield and try to salvage a goal if they can. But as I said, they've just not really been close here in the second half. 84-minute mark showing now on the clock, and the Gold now downfield, down to our left. Good dribbling maneuvers by the Gold out into the middle. The Gold passes over the left wing, and finally a shot toward the goal, and I think it's wide left, just wide left at the 88-14 mark, and the Gold showing a lot of no quit. And the Gold fighting to the very end, although they're down by 2 goals. It's a 4-2 soccer match with 88-30 into the match itself in the second half. Long kick downfield taken by the Gold, continue to fight hard, and the right wing pass toward the middle, intercepted by the Stallions, and the Stallions will start the journey back upfield. Ball knocked nearly out of bounds, kept in bounds by the Gold at the 89-minute mark, so we've got a minute left to play. And the Gold fighting hard as they have all game. Downfield, we've got a Gold player in the box. The Gold player dribbles toward the goal, but it's knocked out of bounds at the 89-12 mark, last touched by the Gold, and so it'll be the Stallions' ball with time running out. 4-2, the Stallions over the Century 5 Gold team, and the Stallions with an impressive showing, a 3-1 edge here in the second half as the clock winds down. All the action now at in the middle of the pitch, and Now the ball kicked goalward by the Stampede. The Stampede still with the ball, 88-50 in 89-52 rather into the match, and the Gold will steal it back from the Stampede as 90 minutes show on the scoreboard clock, and the Gold will get a chance to run out the progression of play as the ball now to the Stampede will kick it back toward midfield, and we'll wait from the signal for the official as the Stampede leads it 4-2. No time showing on the clock, and simply academic in nature now as the Gold will try to get it back upfield for another goal. However, a wild shot taken, no good by the Stampede, and the match is over. And the match won by the New Jersey Stallions Academy Stampede 4-2 over the Century 5 Gold from Pennsylvania. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors for making our stream possible. They are Nike, Bubba Burger, Kohl's, MLS, Nesquik, Positive Coaching Alliance, Toyota, Wilson Trophy Company, NSCAA, and U.S. Soccer. As once again the final score is posted, the New Jersey Academy Stampede for the Century 5 Gold from Western Pennsylvania 2. This is Alton Britt. Hope you've enjoyed the match. We'll be back with match number 3 right here on the Turbo Sports Network.